Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of Amazon return pallets.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to unpack this
Yeah,
whole world for you.
absolutely.
And hopefully by the end of this, you will
Ah,
have a better understanding of
right.
how this all works.
That's the goal,
And if it is something that might be a good fit for you or your business.
for sure.
Okay, so to kind of kick things off,
Yeah.
just to paint a picture of just how big this market is.
Okay.
Did you know that 30% of online purchases are returned,
Wow.
compared to just 9% of brick-and-mortar purchases?
Interesting.
So that's a huge difference, right? And
Ooh.
that difference
Yeah,
creates a whole ecosystem of opportunity for people.
it does.
So that's what we're here to unpack today.
Yeah, it's fascinating to think about that, you know?
Yeah.
Most people just click return and they never think about where those products end up.
Right, and that's where the image of these pallets comes
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
right? These potentially treasure-filled pallets.
Mm.
But before we get to the treasure, we need to understand the beast.
Absolutely. We need to understand where it's coming from.
Right.
And we're talking about Amazon here.
Right.
We're talking about a company that in 2022 had over 9.6 million sellers,
Wow.
battling it out for attention from billions of website visits.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is.
They're a dominant force in the U.S. market,
It's huge.
raking in over $356 billion in sales in 2022.
Wow.
So that kind of volume inevitably leads to a mountain of return.
So what happens to all this stuff?
Right.
Does it all go back on the shelves?
Not quite.
Okay.
Amazon actually gives sellers 4 main options for handling those returns.
Okay.
So the first is return to seller,
Okay.
where the product goes back to whoever sold it originally.
Makes sense.
And they can decide whether to relist it,
Okay.
try to repair it, or maybe send it off to liquidation.
Okay. And so isn't there a push for sustainability these days?
Right.
What about all the waste?
You're absolutely right. That is a key consideration. And Amazon has stated a goal of 0 product disposal.
Okay.
And they do offer a disposal option as well.
Okay.
But unfortunately, sometimes it's just not cost effective
Right.
for a seller to deal with a return, especially if it's damaged or if it's from a distant location.
Yeah. That's where that kind of tension comes in, right? Between the sustainability goals and the reality of the profit margins.
Absolutely.
It's a tough spot for those sellers to be in.
It is.
Okay. So we have return to seller. We have disposal.
Right.
What's number 3?
And that leads us to option number 3,
Okay.
liquidation.
Ah.
This is where those pallets we've been talking about come into play.
Okay.
So Amazon works with liquidation companies who buy up this unwanted inventory and then auction it off to resellers like you.
Interesting.
So it's a way for sellers to recoup some losses and keep those products from ending up in a landfill.
So it's like a win-win in theory, right? The seller gets some money back, the buyer gets a bargain, and then the planet's a little bit happier too.
Exactly. It is a win-win.
Okay, so we have return to seller, disposal, liquidation. You said there were 4?
Yes. There's also fulfillment by Amazon Grade and Resell.
Okay.
This is a more exclusive program where Amazon itself inspects and grades the returned items and then sells them through their Renewed program.
Okay, so there's like a little bit more quality control there, it sounds like.
Exactly. Think of it like a certified pre-owned electronics.
Okay.
So that means you're less likely to find
Okay.
top tier, like new electronics in those general liquidation pallets.
That's a great tip. Okay.
Yeah.
So why does Amazon even bother with all these different options?
Right.
Why not just simplify things?
Well, it boils down to protecting their brand image
okay.
and that seamless customer experience they're famous for.
Okay.
So think about it. Amazon is built on this promise of convenience, low prices,
Right.
hassle-free returns.
Yeah.
If they made returns difficult, it would go against their entire business model.
Totally. It would alienate their massive customer base.
Exactly.
Okay, so essentially, we're kind of playing a role in this ecosystem
Yeah,
by buying these pallets.
you are.
Okay.
And that brings us to the heart of this deep dive.
Okay.
Why would you want to buy these pallets in the first place?
Yeah, let's get into that.
What's the motivation?
Right. I'm sure a lot of listeners are wondering
Yeah.
if this is just some kind of crazy get-rich-quick scheme that they hear about online or
Right.
something like that.
Well, there's definitely an element of potential profit,
Okay.
but it's much more nuanced than that.
Okay.
The motivations typically fall into 3 main buckets.
Okay, let's break those down.
Okay.
What's the first one?
So first and foremost, think about the cost savings.
Okay.
You're getting bulk inventory at a fraction of retail value.
Right.
Imagine the possibilities for a bootstrapped business or anyone looking to really boost their margins.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You're essentially getting a wholesale price without the hassle.
You are.
Okay, what's number 2?
It's the incredible variety. We're talking over 25,000 subcategories on Amazon.
That's a lot.
You could diversify your existing inventory.
Right.
Try out new product lines. Maybe even stumble upon those niche items that set you apart from the competition.
Yeah, I bet that appeals to the entrepreneurial spirit, right? Always on the lookout for the next big thing.
Always looking for that next big thing.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay, so cost savings variety, what's number 3?
And the third piece of this puzzle is sustainability.
Okay.
More and more people are looking to shop consciously.
Yes.
Reduce waste, give products a second life.
Right.
Buying return pallets aligns perfectly with that trend.
It's a win-win-win.
It is.
Good for the planet, good for the wallet, and good for the soul.
I like it.
So we've got cost savings variety and sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get real here. Where do you even find these pallets?
Right.
And how do you buy them?
Yeah, the key is navigating the pallet market strategically.
Okay.
You'll want to start with liquidation companies. These are businesses that specialize in buying large quantities of excess inventory, including those Amazon return pallets,
Okay.
and then reselling them to individuals and businesses.
So they're like the gatekeepers to this world.
They are the gatekeeper to the pallet world.
I like that. Okay, and I'm guessing there's a ton of these liquidation companies out there.
Yes.
How do I choose the right one?
Research is key.
Okay.
You want a company with a solid track record, positive customer reviews,
Yeah.
transparent business practices.
Makes sense.
Online forums and reseller communities are great places to get recommendations.
Okay, so word of mouth.
Word of mouth is great.
Okay, are there any specific companies that come to mind that you can mention?
Sure, the Bin Store Pallets and Truckloads is one reputable company that comes to mind. They've been in the business for a while and have a good reputation.
Okay.
But always do your own research before committing to any company.
Absolutely.
So once you found a trustworthy liquidation company,
Yeah.
the next step is to register with them and familiarize yourself with their platform.
Right.
Most of these companies operate online, so you'll create an account, provide some basic info, agree to their terms and conditions.
Sounds pretty similar to signing up for any online marketplace.
It is.
Okay. And once you're in,
Yeah.
the fun begins, right?
The fun begins. You can start browsing those pallet listings, each with a description, photos, and often a detailed manifest.
Ah, the manifest.
Yes.
That sounds important.
The manifest is very important.
Okay.
It gives you valuable insight into the condition of the items, their estimated retail value, and the overall potential profitability of the pallet.
So it's not just about looking at a picture and hoping for the best?
No.
Okay.
Savvy pallet buyers use the manifest to make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes.
Okay.
So let's say you see a listing for a pallet of electronics.
Okay, that sounds great.
Sounds great, right? But what if the manifest reveals that most of those electronics are listed as salvage?
Oh.
You might end up with a pile of broken gadgets that are worth more as scrap metal than anything else.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be bad.
Okay, so the manifest is all about kind of reading between the lines.
Exactly.
And understanding those nuances of condition and all that.
You need to know what terms like new, refurbished, used, or salvage really mean in practice.
Okay.
So new could mean that the item is still in its original packaging.
Okay.
While refurbished might indicate it's been repaired or inspected.
Right.
Salvage usually means that it's heavily damaged or only good for parts.
Okay, so we're getting into a little bit of detective work here.
Yes, you are.
It's not just about finding a cheap pallet.
No.
It's about finding the right pallet.
Right.
Okay, with the right mix of items in the right condition.
Exactly.
Okay, so the manifest also includes the estimated retail value.
It does.
And so I can use that to kind of figure out what my potential profit margin would be.
You can absolutely.
Okay, but that's just an estimate.
It is just an estimate.
So the actual resale value could be higher or lower?
It could be higher or lower.
Depending on the condition and the demand and all that.
Exactly.
Okay, so what else should I be paying attention to when I'm kind of scrutinizing those manifests?
Pay close attention to the product categories that are listed.
Okay.
Do they align with your target market?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any expertise in those areas?
Okay.
So if you're a whiz with electronics, focusing on pallets heavy on tech gadgets might be your sweet spot.
So play to your strengths.
Play to your strengths.
Okay, don't just buy a pallet because it seems like a good deal.
Exactly.
Buy it because, you can turn a profit.
You got it.
Okay. So I found my pallet. I've done my homework.
Okay.
Now what?
Now we need to master the art of bidding strategically.
Ooh, okay.
This is where things can get heated.
Yeah.
It's easy to overbid in the excitement of the moment.
I can imagine.
So it's crucial to set a budget beforehand and stick to it.
Discipline.
No
Yeah.
matter how tempting it might be to keep raising your bid.
Right.
So one helpful strategy is to determine your maximum bid based on the estimated retail value of the items.
Okay.
Your estimated costs, including shipping and any potential repairs, and then your desired profit margin.
Okay.
Once you hit that maximum,
Yeah.
walk away.
Walk away, even if you don't win that particular auction.
Even if you don't win, there will be other auctions.
Okay, very good.
Another tip is to watch the bidding activity.
Okay.
Try to gauge the level of competition. So if there are a lot of bidders driving up the price, it might be wise to wait for a less popular auction or focus on a different pallet altogether.
Okay, so it's a little bit of strategy and timing.
It is.
Okay.
You need to be patient. Strike at the right moment.
Okay, so let's say I have successfully navigated the auction.
Yes.
I won the pallet.
Congratulations.
Now what?
You're officially a pallet owner.
I love it. Okay, so now the real work begins.
Now the work begins.
I've got all this potential just sitting there.
You got it. But before you start dreaming of dollar signs,
Okay.
we need to talk about logistics.
Okay, the practical detail.
The practical details. That can make or break the whole operation.
Okay.
We're talking about shipping
Okay,
and storage.
so even if I get a great deal on the pallet, that shipping cost could really eat into the profits,
It could, especially if it's coming from far away.
especially if it's heavy and far away.
Yes.
Okay, so factor that in from the beginning.
Factor it in.
Okay, what about storage?
So you're going to need somewhere to put this pallet.
Yeah, my garage isn't that big.
Right. So it depends on the size of the pallet
Yeah.
and the amount of space you have available.
Okay.
Some people start out using their garage or basement,
Okay.
while others rent storage units or even warehouse space as they scale up their business.
So it's all about having a plan
Have a plan.
for when that pallet arrives.
Exactly. You need a clear plan for receiving,
Okay.
sorting, and storing those items before they even arrive.
So I don't want a pallet just blocking my driveway.
No.
Okay, so I've won the auction, I've got shipping, I've got storage.
Okay.
Now the real treasure hunt begins.
Now the fun begins.
Okay.
The next phase is all about sorting through your loot,
Okay.
assessing the condition of the items, and getting them ready for resale.
I love it.
This is where you separate the gems from the junk,
Okay.
make any necessary repairs,
Okay.
and start thinking about how to present those items to potential buyers.
I can't wait to dig in. It's like opening a giant mystery box.
It is like a giant mystery box.
So to kind of help make the most of this phase,
yeah,
we've put together a 10-step guide to success
we have.
based on our research and the experience of successful pallet flippers.
Exactly.
I live at a roadmap to pallet flipping success.
Roadmap.
Let's dive into step 1.
Step 1.
Okay.
And this is absolutely crucial.
Okay.
Conduct thorough market research.
Ooh, market research. Okay.
This goes beyond just knowing what's in your pallet.
Okay.
You need to understand the demand for those products in your chosen sales channels.
Right. So it's not just about finding cheap stuff.
No.
It's about finding the right stuff.
The right stuff.
Stuff people actually want to buy.
Exactly. Are people actually searching for these items?
Yeah.
Are they willing to pay a price that will give you a profit?
That makes sense.
And this research will help you spot those hidden gems in your pallet.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you've got a vintage toy that's suddenly in high demand.
Right.
Or a piece of clothing that's back in style.
Okay.
That's where the real money is made.
Okay. Market research.
Yes.
Check.
What's step 2?
Step 2 is bidding strategically.
Right.
Avoid those emotional bidding wars.
Right.
Set a budget. Stick to it. And don't get carried away by the excitement of the auction.
So much easier said than done, I'm sure.
It is, but you got to have that discipline.
Discipline.
Yes.
Okay, what about step 3? Step 3 is arranging shipping and storage.
Right.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the costs and the logistics involved in getting that pallet from point A to point B.
Right. And having a place to process it once it arrives.
Exactly.
Okay, good reminder.
Yeah.
Okay, what about number 4?
Step 4 is the heart of the operation.
Okay.
Sorting and processing the items.
Oh.
This is where you'll inspect each piece, assess its condition, determine its resale potential, and maybe even get a little creative.
I like it. Okay.
So this is where you might need to roll up your sleeves and get a little crafty.
Okay.
Some items might need minor repairs or cleaning to increase their value.
Yeah.
Others might be perfect for bundling together.
Bundling.
Yes,
Okay.
to create more appealing offers.
Tell me more about bundling.
So let's say you find a smartphone
Yeah.
missing its charger.
Happens all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Sourcing a compatible charger for a few dollars suddenly makes that phone much more desirable to buyers.
That's a great example.
Okay. You've added value and convenience.
Okay, so step 4, we are sorting, we are processing.
Sorting, processing.
We're getting crafty, maybe doing a little bundling.
Maybe doing a little bundling.
Okay, what's step 5?
Step 5 is choosing the right sales channels.
Okay.
So do you want to sell online through platforms like eBay or Amazon?
Okay.
Or maybe you prefer local marketplaces, flea markets, or even your own brick-and-mortar store?
So many options.
So many options.
I guess it depends on the product and your target market.
It does, and it's important to understand the rules and fees associated with each platform.
Right.
Some marketplaces are more strict than others when it comes to selling used or refurbished items.
Okay, so do your homework.
Do your homework.
Okay.
Once you've chosen your sales channels,
Okay.
it's time for step 6.
All right.
Pricing your items competitively,
Okay.
but still profitably.
So it's like a delicate balancing act.
It is. This requires understanding your costs,
Okay.
researching the demand for those products,
Right.
keeping an eye on your competition.
Okay, so stay flexible.
Stay flexible.
All right, what's step 7?
Step 7 is inventory and financial management.
Well, this is important.
This is crucial.
Okay.
This means keeping track of your purchases, sales expenses, and profits.
Right. This is a business, not a hobby.
Exactly.
We need to treat it as such.
Treat it as such.
Okay, so good bookkeeping.
Good bookkeeping.
Okay, what about step 8?
Step 8 is all about scaling and diversifying your business as you gain experience and confidence.
Okay, so taking those profits and reinvesting.
Reinvesting, but do it strategically.
You don't overextend yourself.
Don't overextend.
Got it. What are the last 2?
Step 9.
Okay.
Stay informed and adaptable.
Right.
The retail landscape is constantly changing.
Yeah.
So keep up to date on market trends,
Okay.
new technologies, shifts in consumer behavior.
So never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Be willing to pivot.
Be willing to pivot.
When necessary.
When necessary.
Got it. And step 10.
Step 10, the most important one.
Okay.
Persevere and never give up on your dreams.
Oh, I love that.
Building a successful business takes time,
Yeah,
effort, and a willingness to overcome challenges.
for sure. But the rewards can be amazing.
The rewards are worth it.
Right. It's all about having that entrepreneurial spirit
Mm.
and the determination to make your vision a reality.
Absolutely.
All right, so those are our 10 steps.
10 steps to success.
A roadmap to success.
A roadmap?
In the world of pallet flipping.
Pallet flipping. Well said. Those 10 steps provide a solid foundation for anyone looking to get into the world of pallet flipping.
Yeah.
But let's dive into some more specific tactics for maximizing your profits and really upping your pallet game.
Okay, I'm ready for the pro tips.
Uh-huh.
Let's hear how to squeeze every ounce of value out of these pallets.
So as you're sorting through your finds,
Okay.
remember that not everything has to be sold individually.
Okay.
Bundling is a powerful strategy to increase perceived value and create those more appealing offers.
Ooh, bundling. I like where this is going. So it's about creating those curated packages.
Yes.
That cater to specific needs or interests.
Exactly.
All right.
Imagine you have a pallet with multiple Bluetooth speakers.
Right.
Some are in perfect condition,
Right.
while others have minor cosmetic damage.
Right.
Instead of selling them separately, you could bundle a perfect one with a slightly flawed one at a discount and position it as a speaker set for home and travel.
Brilliant.
You're turning a potential drawback into a selling point.
The buyer gets a great deal, and you move more inventory.
It's a win-win.
I like it.
Another example, you find a smartphone missing its charger.
Happens all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Sourcing a compatible charger for a few dollars suddenly makes that phone much more attractive to buyers.
Right.
You've added value and convenience.
Yeah, it's like those value meal deals,
Exactly.
but for pallet finds.
Exactly.
I'm loving these bundling tactics. What else should we keep in mind?
Accurate grading is crucial. As you inspect each item, determine its condition honestly and categorize it accordingly. New, open box, refurbished, or used.
Okay, so honesty is the best policy here.
Honesty is the best policy.
No trying to pass off a scratched up gadget as like new.
Exactly. Accurate grading is essential for ethical and successful selling.
Right.
Misrepresenting the condition of your items can lead to negative reviews, returns, and damage to your reputation.
Right.
Plus, it helps you price items appropriately.
Okay, makes sense.
A brand new item in its original packaging commands a higher price than a used one with some wear and tear.
Right, of course. Okay, so we've got bundling, we've got accurate grading. What other tricks do the pros use?
If you're serious about scaling up,
Okay.
consider venturing into the world of truckloads.
Whoa, truckload.
Truckloads.
That sounds intense, like a whole truck full of pallets.
A whole truck full of pallets.
Okay, so higher volume, potentially higher profits, but also higher risk?
Exactly. It's a strategy for those who are ready to take their pallet flipping to the next level. Yeah.
Okay, so to kind of navigate this, let's break down these truckload categories.
Okay.
What are we looking at here?
So first up, we have bigs.
Big, so.
These truckloads focus on large items.
Yep.
Furniture, appliances, exercise equipment, anything that takes up significant space.
So if I'm running a furniture store or a used appliance shop, bigs would be my go-to.
Bigs would be your go-to.
Okay, makes sense. What's next?
On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have smalls.
Smalls, okay.
These truckloads are packed with a higher volume of smaller items,
Okay.
offering a wider variety and the thrill of the hunt.
So this is where I might find those hidden gems you were talking about.
You might.
Electronics, gadgets, household goods, maybe even some vintage treasure.
You got it.
Okay.
Smalls are particularly well suited for online sellers or anyone with limited storage space.
Makes sense. You can easily sort and organize and ship these smaller items. You don't need a warehouse.
Exactly.
Okay, so big smalls. Those make sense.
Yeah.
What are the other two categories?
We also have high retail truckloads.
High retail?
These typically contain a curated selection of popular in-demand products
Okay.
with higher retail values.
So the cream of the crop, the stuff that's likely to fly off the shelves and generate those juicy profits.
Exactly. Electronics, brand name, clothing designer, accessories, anything currently trending or highly sought after.
Okay, I'm already picturing the bidding wars for these truckloads, but I'm guessing they come with a premium price tag.
They do. Higher potential profits usually mean a higher initial investment.
High risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward.
Okay, what's that fourth category?
Last but not least, we have clothing truckloads.
Clothing, okay.
As you might imagine, these are overflowing with apparel from various brands, styles, and sizes.
A fashionista's dream. But that sounds like a massive amount of clothing to sort through.
It can be a challenge, but for those with an eye for fashion
Okay.
and the patience to sift through mountains of garments, clothing truckloads can be a gold mine.
I can see that you could find everything from vintage pieces and designer labels to everyday basics and trendy accessories. Plus, there's a huge market for reselling clothing, both online and in physical stores.
There is a huge market, and some people even specialize in sourcing bulk clothing to resell overseas.
Wow!
Where certain brands and styles are in high demand.
It's amazing how these truckloads cater to such a diverse range of business models and niches.
It is.
Okay, so we've got bigs, we've got smalls, we've got high retail, and we've got clothing truckloads. Definitely open up a whole new world of possibilities for scaling up those pallet flipping operations.
Absolutely. But remember, just like with individual pallets, do your research.
Okay.
Analyze those manifests.
Right.
Factor in shipping and storage costs, and choose a category that complements your business goals and your target market.
Okay, great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we move on, we need to address the elephant in the room, the potential downsides of buying Amazon return pallets and truckloads.
Okay.
We've painted a pretty rosy picture so far.
We have.
But it's important to be realistic, right?
You're absolutely right. While there are many benefits and opportunities, there are also risks and challenges to consider.
So let's get real. What are some of the things that might make someone hesitate before jumping into this pallet flipping game?
One of the biggest risks is the inherent uncertainty of buying unsorted returns.
Okay.
You're essentially buying blind.
So I could end up with a pallet full of damaged goods or products that are just simply not resaleable.
It's a real possibility.
That's scary.
It is something to factor into your calculations.
Right.
Experienced pallet flippers learn to assess risk and mitigate potential losses.
Okay.
But there's always an element of the unknown.
It's not like buying new merchandise from a wholesaler where you have that quality assurance.
Exactly, and even with detailed manifests, there can be surprises.
Right.
Items might be mislabeled, damaged in transit, or simply not as described.
So be prepared for some potential losses and build that into your pricing strategy.
Exactly.
Okay. Risk is definitely a factor to consider.
Mm-hmm.
What other potential drawbacks should I be aware of?
Another big one is the cost of shipping and handling, especially when dealing with larger pallets or truckloads.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Those shipping costs can really add up and eat into your profit margins.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the cost of handling those pallets once they arrive.
Right.
You might need to hire help to unload, sort, and organize the items, which adds to your overall expenses.
So it's not just the initial purchase price.
Yeah.
It's all those associated costs
It is.
that come with getting those pallets from the warehouse to my doorstep and ready for resale.
Exactly. It's crucial to factor in all those hidden costs and build them into your pricing strategy.
Okay, risk shipping, costs, anything else I should be aware of before kind of diving into this world?
One final point. Success in this business requires more than just buying pallets.
So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
It is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Where I could just buy low and sell high.
No, you need to have an eye for value, a knack for spotting potential,
Oh.
and the skills to repair, refurbish, or creatively bundle items to increase their appeal and resale value.
So I need to be resourceful, creative, and willing to put in the work.
Okay, you also need solid business acumen.
Okay.
Marketing, sales, customer service, inventory management, all those essential aspects of running a successful enterprise.
So it's not just about finding good deals. It's about building a sustainable business around those deals.
Exactly. And that takes time, effort, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Okay, so before jumping headfirst into the world of Amazon return pallets,
Yes.
I need to honestly assess my skills,
Yeah.
resources, and risk tolerance.
You do.
It's not for everyone, but for those with the right mindset and approach, it can be a rewarding and profitable venture.
It can be very rewarding.
Okay, so we talked about the downsides. Let's talk about those advantages.
Yes, let's highlight those compelling advantages once again.
Yeah, there must be some pretty strong reasons why so many people are drawn to this business.
There are.
Okay.
One of the most alluring aspects is the potential for significant cost savings. You're essentially cutting out the middleman and buying directly from the source at a fraction of the original retail price.
So it's like having access to those wholesale prices without the hassle.
Exactly.
Okay.
And those cost savings translate to higher profit margins,
Right.
giving you a competitive edge in the market.
I can see why that would be appealing, especially for small business owners and entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Every dollar saved on inventory is a dollar that goes straight to the bottom line.
It does.
Okay, so cost savings is a major plus.
Mm-hmm.
What's another advantage of buying these Amazon return pallets?
The incredible variety.
Oh, yeah.
You never know what hidden gems you might uncover, from the latest gadgets to vintage treasures, from everyday essentials to those unique and collectible items that can fetch a premium price.
It's like a treasure hunt every time you open a new pallet.
It is.
So no wonder people get hooked on this business.
It's addictive.
It is okay, and that variety allows you to cater to a wider range of customers.
It does.
Expanding your potential market.
Expanding your market.
What's that third reason someone might choose to buy Amazon return pallets?
The sustainability aspect.
Oh, yeah.
You're rescuing perfectly good products from ending up in landfills.
Right.
Reducing waste and promoting a more circular economy.
It's a win-win for your business and the planet.
It is.
Okay.
And as consumers become more eco-conscious, they're
Right.
increasingly drawn to businesses that prioritize sustainability and ethical sourcing.
So it's not just about making a profit, it's about making a difference.
It is about making a difference.
Okay, so we got cost savings,
Mm-hmm.
incredible variety,
Yes.
and a chance to contribute to a more sustainable retail ecosystem.
It's a powerful combination.
It is a powerful combination.
Yeah.
All right, so let's zoom out for a second.
All right.
Look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does this popularity of this market for Amazon return pallets tell us about the world we live in?
It reflects some major trends, like the sheer scale of online shopping
Right.
and the resulting volume of returns.
It's mind-boggling how much we buy online these days.
It is.
The convenience of clicking a button and having a package delivered to our doorstep has really changed the game.
It has changed the game.
Okay.
And those trends are only amplified by the prevalence of free and easy return policies.
Right, so it's kind of a double-edged sword,
It is.
right? The convenience we love comes at a cost.
It does.
A mountain of returned goods that need to be managed.
Exactly. It highlights that delicate balance
Yes.
between meeting consumer expectations
Yeah.
and maintaining a sustainable and profitable retail ecosystem.
Okay, so the popularity of these Amazon return pallets suggests that people are looking for creative solutions
They are.
to deal with this.
They are looking for creative solutions. It's a way to turn a potential liability into an opportunity,
I love that.
giving those products a second life.
One person's trash is another person's treasure,
Exact.
right? It goes beyond just find hidden treasures.
Yes, it does.
It's about promoting sustainability and moving towards that more circular economy
absolutely
where products are reused, repurposed, or recycled.
exactly.
It's inspiring to see individuals and businesses finding innovative ways to make a difference.
It is.
Okay? And as consumer awareness grows,
Yeah.
And the demand for sustainable and ethically sourced products continues to rise. This market is likely going to continue to expand.
I think it will.
Okay, that's exciting.
It is.
Right? It suggests a future where waste is minimized, resources are valued, and products are given multiple lives.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as we kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive, it's worth pondering that role we all play in this evolving ecosystem.
It is.
Whether we're buying, selling, or just observing from the sidelines.
Right.
Our choices and actions impact the way goods are produced, consumed, and ultimately disposed of.
They do. It's a reminder that we're all interconnected.
Yeah.
Our individual decisions can contribute to a more sustainable and equitable future.
Well said. Now, as we prepare to move on to the final part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question. We've explored the practicalities of buying and selling these Amazon return pallets.
We have.
But there's also an ethical dimension to consider.
Right.
We talked about the sustainability benefits of giving these products a second life.
Right.
But is there a point where this reselling activity contributes to overconsumption?
That's a good question.
Right.
It highlights the complexities of balancing convenience, affordability, and sustainability in our modern world.
It's a question with no easy answers.
No easy answers.
But something worth thinking about as we make choices about our own consumption habits and the businesses that we support.
Well said. It's a reminder that even seemingly simple actions can have ripple effects.
Yeah.
We each have a responsibility to make informed decisions that align with our values.
Okay, so let's take a moment to reflect on that thought-provoking question.
Okay.
As we transition to the final part of our deep dive. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of Amazon return pallets.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have, in those first two parts, we talked about the ins and outs of the Amazon return pallet market, the motivations for buying pallets, the risks, the rewards, the different truckload categories, even some of those broader ethical considerations.
A lot to think about.
A lot to think about.
But hopefully you're starting to see the potential of this market, but also, the complexities.
Exactly. It's not a decision to make lightly, but for those of you who are ready to dive in, we've got some bonus tips.
We do.
And resources to help you get started.
Let's kick things off with a few advanced tactics.
Okay, I like it.
That can give you an edge in this competitive market. One strategy that experienced pallet flippers use is to specialize.
Oh, specialization, okay.
In a particular product category.
It's like that old saying, jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
Right.
By focusing on a niche, you can develop deep expertise.
Right.
Become a go-to source for those specific products.
Okay, so maybe you're passionate about electronics, or you have a knack for finding vintage clothing. Okay, so whatever it is, focus your energy on becoming an expert in that area.
Become an expert.
It'll help you make better decisions when you're buying those pallets.
It will.
Okay, specialization is key.
Yes.
What other tips can you share?
Another tactic is to leverage social media and online marketplaces to your advantage.
Oh, social media.
Social media.
Such a powerful tool these days.
It is.
Okay.
Create a strong online presence.
Okay.
Showcase your inventory. Build a loyal following.
So I can see how this would be really useful for, like, unique items or niche items that might not have a broad audience on, like, eBay or Amazon.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of storytelling.
Oh, storytelling. Okay.
Share your journey as a pallet flipper. Highlight those exciting finds. Create a personal connection with your audience.
People love a good story.
They do. They're drawn to authenticity and passion. So let your personality shine through.
Okay, great advice. It's not just about selling the product. It's about building that brand.
Building your brand.
Okay, and connecting with people. Okay, so in terms of resources, I bet there's tons of websites and forums and online communities.
There are.
For this whole world of pallet flipping.
There are. You can find everything from detailed guides on how to inspect pallets to insider tips on specific liquidation companies, even calculators to help you estimate potential profits.
So much information at our fingertips.
There is.
Any specific resources that you would recommend?
There's a fantastic website called Pallet Flipper University.
Pallet Flipper University.
They have a ton of free articles, videos, and even online courses that cover everything from the basics to more advanced strategies.
That's awesome. What about online communities?
The Facebook group Pallet Flippers Unite is another great place to connect with other flippers.
Okay.
Ask questions, share experiences, learn from the pros.
So it's like having a whole network of mentors.
It is.
Okay.
And collaborators right at your fingertips.
I love it.
And remember, The best way to learn is by doing. Start small, experiment with different strategies, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Right. Those mistakes are valuable lessons.
They are.
Okay.
That's how you'll gain experience and ultimately find your own path to success in this market.
Great advice. It's all about taking action and learning and embracing that journey.
Embrace the journey.
Okay, and who knows, maybe you'll discover a hidden talent for spotting those valuable treasures or a passion for creating those product bundles that we talked about.
You never know.
Right.
The possibilities are endless.
I love that. Okay, so to wrap up this whole deep dive,
Yeah.
I think one thing that keeps coming back is that success in this market really requires a combination of passion knowledge and a willingness to work hard.
It does.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it can be a really rewarding and profitable venture.
It can be.
So keep learning.
Keep learning.
Keep exploring and keep flipping those pallets.
Keep flipping.
And with that inspiring message, we're going to wrap up this deep dive into the world of Amazon return pallets. We hope you found it informative, engaging, and maybe even a little bit life-changing.
Until next time, happy treasure hunting.
And keep diving deep.